everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 549, entitled The Stormbringer. Kick-ass title, Kubo, kick-ass title, which probably means there's going to be a Stormbringer 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But for now, cool title. Okay, so chapter starts off with the 10th Division squad members kind of giving some glory and some cheers to Toshiro and Rangiku for defeating Basby, the Terminator H, the Heat. Wow, this is what it feels like to actually defeat an enemy. Wow, it feels good. He's probably still alive, isn't he? Alright, so I guess it's time to go check on Marechio, see how his fight against BG9 is going. That's about right. Where is your division, Captain? It's my third time asking and I expect an answer. Well, I didn't know where she was the first time you asked. Why the hell would I know the next 2 times? I don't even know what you dicks want with us. You don't know? We Sternriders' prime goal is to find if there is a good Dairy Queen within a 50-mile radius of the Seirete, so we may receive all the brownie explosions that our Quincy stomachs can fathom. Seriously? No, you fucking moron! We just want to kill all of you! Now where is your captain at? Marechio has a very interesting personality in this chapter. He's switching back and forth between cowardly, oh please don't hurt me, scary Sternritter masked man, and then he switches over to very courageous. He's just like, oh, even if I did know where she was and you went to go fight her, she'd kick your ass. So I have no idea. I guess his mind is working too much right now. He's just like switching back and forth between these two personalities. He's like Sage King and Usopp right now at the moment. So, which results in BG9 just giving up on questioning Marechio and uses his super extending arm to break through the wall and grab Marechio's younger sister, Mario. You know, the interesting thing here is throughout this entire chapter, we're going to get multiple times how BG9 exactly talks and the way he describes everything. Like he's like basically like he is actually a robot or a Dalek or a Terminator or what the hell, whoever he is. Because he uses very specific terminology in mathematics. And he's like, I've scanned this entire area and I could not find her i-azu from the sample I took. When he takes Mario, he scans her and he's just like, the physical resemblance is almost non-existent, but your i-azu is 50% similar. And I've scanned the entire 50-meter radius and I've discovered 3 other i-azus that are very similar to them. Please give them to me or I will, please tell me where Soifone is or I will kill you, that sort of thing. But I guess he doesn't have a lie detector initiated in his circuits at some point, because you think he would figure out by this point that Marechio has actually legitly no idea where Soifone is. So I mean this is probably how he located him to begin with, that he was searching for Soifone, couldn't find him, and so then sought out her lieutenant. But you know, whatever. I'm not sure what he's going to turn out to be. I'm betting on robot. I'm not saying exactly Dalek, but I mean, maybe he's some sort of like, maybe he's like Sasori from Naruto, where you have like a human part or a Quincy part in you, like a brain or something from a human, but then your entire body is like artificial or something like that. I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas because his body is clearly not normal, even amongst other Sternritter standards. Marechio manages to hit BG9 point blank in the head with the Getsuburi, which doesn't really do anything more than just mildly irritate him. He even continues with the questioning. You know, other main reason I'm guessing BG9 is a robot. Only a robot would have this much patience with Marechio before just clawing out his freaking jugular. Marechio states his resolve one final time to BG9 before he states that his 15 seconds are up and proceeds to pull a fucking minigun out of his cloak. Okay, stop, just stop, okay? I just want this to sink in for a second, okay? A Quincy with a minigun! That is a Quincy with a minigun! Okay, this guy just got awesome. You know, I originally thought that BG9's original epitaph for the K was, oh, by the way, I just got that, KGB9, funny Russians. Anyway, I just assumed it was knight, the knight, because I'm thinking what other word in the freaking dictionary could possibly, you know, be for K? Is it going to be the kangaroo? No, that's probably not it. Killinger? No, I don't think he's going to be a famous diplomat from the 1950s, but yeah, I'm just going to go with killer, actually, right now, because yeah, the basis of his powers revolve around being extraordinarily patient, good at questioning, terrible at lie detecting skills, and just grabbing things and shooting things. So I'm just going to go with BG9 being the killer. I love Marechio's response here. I mean, obviously, it's probably the response you would have if you're, you know, laying on the ground all beat to shit, then all of a sudden your cloaked assailant just pulls out a freaking minigun that's half the size of his body right out of his cloak and points it in your freaking face. I'm sure your immediate response, too, would be, oh, shit. So, yeah, you know, honestly, I was holding off for Marechio. I was wanting to see if he was going to do anything special. I was really getting hyped for what he was going to do, and no, I really don't care about that right now. I just kind of want to see that freaking minigun in action. So, BG9 take it away, shoot him in the face, make him into a bloody pile of jelly. I don't care. I want to see that thing in action right now. Oh no, Soyphone, you fucking cock blocker. That was gonna be so cool. I mean, I was looking forward to Maurecchio's brains being splattered all over the barracks so that when Soyphone showed up, she would see that and she would be like going beast on freaking BG9. But no, he's still alive and BG9 doesn't get a chance to use the freaking thing. I mean, and I like Soyphone's response here though. She's just like, oh, I was under the impression that Quincy's only used bows and arrows. Yeah, that comparison's been done a long time ago, Chica. Like we had that back in like chapter 480. 2 when Ivan first showed up and Ichigo's just like, oh, I thought you guys only use bows and arrows, and then he does the big bow. And yeah, that comparison's been done before, Soyphone, so kind of late to the party there. But anyway, she shows up, basically shreds his freaking minigun, steals it, and then goes back to another building that's like a good couple feet away. BG9 states that his sensors didn't detect anything, giving further credence to the fact that he's probably a robot of some sorts. Soyphone states that she mastered i-azu because she's a member of the Stealth Force, of course. BG9 questions the form she's in right now, to which Soyphone states that he should know about it right now because of the information he stole, but regardless, she tells him that it's her Shunko. BG9 was actually aware of this Shunko, but states that she shouldn't have been able to master it at the point that she's using it right now. Soyphone states that, yeah, and actually, when she fought against Yoruichi the first time, way back in, like, chapter, like, I know it was, like, volume 17 or 18, one of the two, when she first used her Shunko, Yoruichi said that it was unfinished, or it was imperfect. So she said that she actually did manage to perfect it in that battle, or at least she gained the foothold to perfecting it in that battle. But ever since then, she's been training like crazy to perfect it completely, go beyond like the maximum, and actually figure out other ways she can incorporate the power. And she actually came up with the fact that her Shunko is actually the power of the wind itself. That's right, folks. Soyphone is Jinkaria in canon. Bet you wouldn't have seen that one coming. So I guess there's different forms for Shunko depending on who was using it, because the first time she used it against Yoruichi, it was just kind of swirling around her while Yoruichi was like lightning discharging from her. So I was thinking like maybe that's why Soyphone's was imperfect. We didn't really get the lightning discharge the same way we got with Yoruichi. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently Yoruichi's is lightning discharged and hers is wind discharged. It's just a different way of how they're seen, but they both have equal amounts of power. So basically how Soyphone's works is her body is now coated in wind that's like swirling around her like an insanely high vortex and speed, so she could basically fight like she normally does, like her normal punches and kicks and everything, except they're augmented to an insane degree because she has like this vortex swirling around her body constantly. So this looks freaking badass. I'm really glad that she got to do this. I'm really, this kind of makes up for her, her Bankai, what her Bankai was. I mean, I have always said that her Bankai is just amazing because it's a missile launcher, but the practicalities in battle are actually kind of weak because you get one shot like once every 3 days, and she's probably increased the time limit she can use since the time skip, but still, it's just one and done, basically. She has to reload, and that's probably a very long process, so if you miss the first time, you're screwed. So her Bankai is a big, huge downside to her powers, especially since the whole, two-hit skill here, so I'm thinking if she combines Shunko with Suzumebachi's Shikai alone, this should be easy pickings for her for BG9, because you think, I mean, unless he does turn out to be a robot, because I can actually see that going that way too. It stabs him 2 times, he's just like, my life functions will not cease to be, I am a Dalek, I mean Sternritter, I am eternal, something like that, so I could totally see, that going down. But as for right now, I think BG9, yeah, he's gonna get his ass kicked. This is my ultimate technique. Wind Scar, I mean Eternal Shunko. Initiating dodging subroutine.
Are you starting a subroutine? It's not that complex.
And boom, that is how you get it done. Like freaking, I love Soyphone. I mean, she had a little bit of monologuing there, a little bit of statement, like exactly what her powers were. I mean, give it to the Shinigami. They got their asses kicked by the freaking Sternritters the first time around. They deserve to have a little bit of boasting about it. I mean, it's stupid in terms of combat, but they deserve to have a little bit of boasting. Like, hey, remember that time you stole my Bankai last time and basically left me for dead? Well, guess what? I got this now. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going to happen before I shove a tornado in your face. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. So we cut back over to the last scene of the chapter to where Bazby is lying. And of course, in typical manga fashion, there is no way you're going down that easy in one chapter. And he states that he actually hasn't even broken a sweat yet. Final scene, we cut back over to Soyphone reading her huge freaking Kamehameha blast zone. And we see BG9, who's actually still standing up tall with one robot eye staring at Soyphone intimidatingly.
Damage report healing. Witty retort found. You are the enemy of the Daleks, I mean Sternritters. Exterminate!
So that's the end of the chapter. Once again, not a hugely long one, just like the last week, although they've come out on Tuesday recently. I had to start readjusting for this stuff because they're coming out a day earlier now. So anyway, though, I'm really excited now what's going to go on because we've seen that the Shinigami actually are becoming to have the potential to fight back. So I'm looking forward to Komomoras because what we had with Toshiro kind of with the vacuum ice, and now we had Soifun with the Shunko. I'm sure whatever technique Komomora is going to have, it's going to be at least on the same level of kind of cleverness, adapting your powers to another means. You know, it's not just relying on Bankai. It's forcing the Shinigami to kind of think out of the box here, and I'm really liking it because before, you know, we didn't always have the Bankai as a catch-all cure-all. You know, if I get beaten down, I'll just use Bankai and I'll use some other special ability with my Bankai and I'll manage to beat you. No, is this something completely different, like completely separate from your Shikai or your Bankai in Soifun's regard? Doesn't even involve her Zanpakuto. So Komomoras, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe next chapter we'll get something like that. I kind of figured that Basby wouldn't have went down so easy. I asked you guys exactly how a vacuum affects a human being, and basically the general consensus was, I'm not sure exactly how scientific accurate this is, but the basic consensus was if a human being were to get hit with a vacuum in the same way that Basby got hit by one, basically it would suck out your organs if it legitly pierced him. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's possible, but maybe he didn't actually get pierced. Let's think about it this way. Basby is the heat, so I'm actually starting to like, well, maybe he can actually turn his Ryatsu into heat, kind of like how Yamamoto turned his Ryatsu into actual fire. Maybe he can convert it into something else, and since he's a Quincy, he would have perfect control over this, so that wouldn't be a far stretch to assume that he could just make his Ryatsu into a heat source. If that's the case, if he got hit by the vacuum blade, maybe he just got pushed back by the blunt force, like, you know, getting hit by the thing knocked him back, but it didn't actually pierce through his body. You know, that's the best thing I can think of, because if it actually did pierce his body, then he would be hurt. Or hey, maybe he actually did lose like a portion of his body. Maybe he's just one tough mofo and he's just going to stand back up and fight again. So maybe we're going to do something with that. With BG9, I'm really leaning on him being a robot or something, maybe going back to the artificial body thing. Like maybe he's not 100% a robot, but maybe he's something similar to that. Exactly how he came across, I don't know. Maybe Yuha used the bodies of like his Quincy predecessors in order to make these robot things. Maybe like there's multiple BG9s. Maybe there's like a bunch of them. Yeah, certainly the Quincy's aren't down for the count yet. Maybe the Shinigami have developed some other method in order to fight along them like equal footing, but they're certainly not even to the point where they can just they can just let it go to their heads, like, oh, we're so much stronger than you Sterners now, you guys are gonna lose. You know, they're still at a major disadvantage here. They are. The fact that the Vonenreich city's there, the fact that you know, most of the Shinigami, the majority of the foot soldiers of the Shinigami are dead, the majority that like a decent number of the captains are either injured or at the Soul Palace. Like, these are in the head captain is the former head captain is DC. This is a big issue. This really is. So I don't know what Basby's complete power is. Some people have been saying he's going to use a stolen Bankai, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, well, Basby didn't really steal a Bankai, did he? Because all he really fought against was i-azu. I mean, he went after Yamamoto, but Yamamoto just nuked him. So unless he stole somebody's Bankai, like, you know, off camera, or if i-azu had a Bankai, which I highly doubt, and he stole i-azu's, but i-azu never used his against him, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but next chapter, chapter 550. See you then, guys. Tekking signing out.